Hey, Mike Burris here. I'm out in my park and I just have my practice pad with me today. Had lunch with a friend. Beautiful day out, a little chilly, but got a little bit of sun going on. And this pole here, that's got to be annoying to everybody. So I won't do that any longer. So I'm going to crouch down here so I don't have my tripod with me, but you can do a video anywhere. So what we're going to do here, I was just playing around here, just enjoying the weather, and I wanted to show you that this is a real chop builder, where you go double and a right hand, a left. So it causes you to go like this. I got my practice pad slanted because I want to do my left hand grip. So it's really this, which is really almost a jazz beat. Da-dum, 2, 3, 4, a 1, 2, a 3, 4. Uh-oh, there it goes. Do you see that? A little wind came by, blew it right off my wallet. So there we go. We'll get back to it. 1, 2, a 3, 4, a 1, 2, a 3, 4, a 1, 2, a 3, 4, a 1. I'm just throwing a little tap in there. Really is a workout because you got to get that right hand up. A lot of people just linger around too much down on the drum, and that creates an inertial problem. You know, a body at rest, sitting on that couch. I don't really sit on the couch. I stretch my legs out on the floor. But Mo, I tell you, once you sit down, a body at rest tends to stay at rest. It wants to stay resting. So I just bring it right back up. So that gets you... So I'm using my fingers to pull that double, and I'm pulling my wrist up. This gets you away from sitting on the couch, being a couch potato, so to speak, in your drumming. Most of the problems with drumming is not being where you're supposed to be at the right time. And why? Because you don't know the Boy Scout motto. You don't know always be prepared. You're not moving to the next destination. I'm not waiting around and then lifting it. I just get right into where I got to be. So that's how you play fast and powerful and get good strong accents. Accents have to come down from here. So you got to be up to come down. You got to get up to come down. You got to go up to come down. I'm wearing my American shirt today. I wear drum shirts a lot, but man, we need some American solidarity. We need to know who the heck we are. I don't think most people have ever read history. They don't even know about the Act of 1871. I was talking to a lady today, and her name was Ann, and she goes, I don't know anything about the Act of 1871. Yeah, it's when America become incorporated. Do you know that? She goes, well, I don't ever remember reading that in any of our history books, or actually, it seems like that's a pretty big deal. I said, yeah, when you become an incorporation, you have to abide by the rules of the bank. People that are lending you the money to exist. So a lot of people don't know that Andrew Johnson, he was the vice president who got into power only because Abraham Lincoln got assassinated. So they're just coming out of the war, Civil War, devastated the country. It bankrupted the country, particularly the South. All the men died. So go check that out. It's very interesting. So Andrew Johnson comes into power, and we're desperately broke. So there was a deal made with the Bank of England. They actually bought the United States of America, and there's all kinds of rules of incorporation. You are owned by the corporation. You're owned by the banks that buy you, that lend you the money. There's all kinds of rules that you have to abide by. So actually, in the United States of America, oh, there's the wind again. This is funny, guys. The wind just comes along and knocks the phone off. What is that about? So we'll try this again. I think it's funny. So we ended up getting bought back to England. So you'll see a lot of things got changed in the incorporation. Go read about that. It's very interesting. But Ulysses S. Grant, who was the general that won the North, he ends up becoming the 18th president, the first actual president of the United States of America Incorporated. So from that point on, all the official documents is the United States of America is all capped. You can go actually look at all this and notice that the official flags that are flown in the official ceremonies, anything that has to do with the business of the incorporation of America, they all have to have a gold sash. So you'll see the gold sash sewn in around the flag, but all the flags before that have no gold sash, and that was one of the stipulations. They have to make the corporation unique and different from what was before. But there's a lot of obligations to the Bank of England. So we're really just right back since then, since 1876, I believe, was the beginning of the incorporation. 1871 was the act. So I can't tell you exactly when Ulysses S. Grant became the first president of the United States of America Incorporated. It's a corporation now. So I'm not really big into all that, but you can go study it. We got into this conversation, and it was you can look all this stuff up. So here's being prepared. Boy Scout motto: always be prepared. Always get to where you need to be. Now this is actually, if you break it down, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So you could think of this as a 4-stroke roll. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's just. You can also think of this as a drag if you raise this stick up about halfway. So now you're going to compress this double. Before it was expanded. So I'm just doing a drag about halfway up, and then an accent. So they call this a drag tap. These dumb names, all right? It's not a drag tap, it's a drag accent. So they really should have called it drag accent.
Where is it?
See that? Bring this right back up to where it needs to be. But for a roll, I keep it right there. Well, we know we can alternate rolls. Now I just have to come down. Well, you had to come down before, so really alternating the roll works out really good. Da 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 da, keep it down. Da 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 da, da 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 da, da 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 da. See, this is ready, right? Ready to go. Da 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 da, da 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 da. See, that works out really good. That's why drag taps alternate really well, as long as you get ready for the next one by keeping it at the halfway point. And why do these things alternate so well? Let's analyze that. 1, 2, 3, 4. because it's called same hand. I started on da 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 da. I started with the left hand and I ended with the left hand. It's called a same hand rudiment, da 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 da. And same hand rudiments alternate well. Why? Because the last thing played is the right hand. So then it's natural to go to the next hand, the opposite hand, to start the other rudiment, the alternate rudiment. I ended with the left, it's easy to start with the right. I ended with the right, easy to start with the left. Now, instead of doing it as a drag, tap, drag, tap. Instead of doing it that way, I'm going to loosen up, or I call expand, or expand. Yeah, expanding. I'm expanding these grace notes into a diddle. Diddle, dot, dot, diddle, dot, dot, diddle, dot, dot. So now we have really a 4-stroke roll, which is just an expanded drag tap. I'm going to really accent that and come down halfway, accent. So I got to make sure I go way up on to get the accent. See, this way up there, but then only come down halfway. It's always about preparing for the next stroke. So when I do this, I'm preparing for the next stroke. I got to go all the way up, right? So that's that pulling the wrist up. Sorry. No, what are we doing? So that is called, now you can think of all that stuff in front of this loud thing at the end as what we call a ruff. Well, there's 4 strokes. So see how all these rudiments can be related. So we got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and this is the 4 strokes. So this is a right, right, left variation, right, right, left grace notes. See, they're really small. So we got to think of this as the 1, 2. Now this is not a roll. It's not a 4-stroke roll because we're not loosening them all up, but it looks like it. It's a 4-stroke ruff variation because we know a 4-stroke ruff is usually just right, left, or left, right, right, left. It's really fast. Remember, a ruff, all those little ghost notes, they call them grace notes, are just leading up to the main count, 1. So this 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. So we're just really setting up the main or principal stroke. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops, that was long. 1. So it's 1. That's the main number. You can think of it as blah 1, blah 2, blah 3. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Isn't that cool? 1, 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's like all crammed in there. Now you could actually give those grace notes some kind of counting if you loosen them up. But then it almost sounds like a roll. But we'll still call it a 4-stroke ruff. But we'll loosen it up. So 4-stroke, they call a single stroke 4. They count a 4-stroke ruff 1, 2, 3, 4. They count that single stroke 4. And because they usually count it like and 1, like a 16th note triplet, and the 1, and the 2, and the 3, and the 4, and the 1, and the 2, and again, maybe they don't alternate, and the 1, and the 2, and the 3, and the 4, and the 1, and the 2, and the 3, and the 4. Or they could alternate, and the 1, and the 2, and the 3, and the 4, and the 1, and the 2, and the 3, and the 4, and the 1, and the 2, and the 3, and the 4, and the, okay, so you got to remember, whatever hand came down, the other one is the one that starts. So it's hard to do when they're all the same level. So now we can do the same thing with this variation of the single stroke 4, okay, or variation of the 4-stroke ruff. And the 1, and I counted and da. I count 16th note triplets, 1 D D and da, because the EE, those DDs are very close to being the 16th note 1 E and it's very, very close. They're on both sides of that E. So it's funky, right? Because it's jerky is funky. So DD is very much like funky, right? Jerky is funky. And the the da, 1 D da, 1 D D and da, 16 note triplets, 1 D D and da, 1 D D and da. The da is very close to the 1 E and of 16 notes. So that's why I count it that way. There's probably other videos that talk about this. 1 D, so, and da 1, and da 2, and da 3, and the 1, and the 2, and the 3, and the 4, and the 1, and the 2, and the 3, 1, and the 2, 3, and the 4, and the 1, and the 2, and the 3, and the 4, and the 1, and the 2, and the 3, and the 4, and the 1, and the 2, and the 3, and the 4, and the 1, and the 2, and the 3. After a while, you don't have to say the and the, just call and the 1, 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 and the 2, and the 3, and the 4, and the 1, and the 2, and 3, and 4. You just have to know you have to start on the and end on the next count. And 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, 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 1, and a 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. All right, so I hope that helps you. It's a good chop builder because you have to get up. You have to always be prepared, like the Boy Scout motto. You have to get up. It forces you. It's an exercise that'll force you. Then, I mean, I can't just sit there and do this all day. I'll get bored just doing that. Pulling my wrist up. You can practice that, just pulling your wrist up. But I find this exercise to be more motivating, and I'll do it a lot longer. So you got to find things that help you stay motivated so you'll do it longer and develop the muscle memory. So I think it's really good to add into your playing. You know, by the way, if you just double that, now you got a 5-stroke roll. So you see the difference? So you can practice going between a 4-stroke roll and a 5-stroke roll. Okay, and do it the other side. So that's how that works. I hope that gives you some ideas. And a lot of really cool drumming on a drum set is moving that accent out to a rim shot. Back here, you know, and moving those accents out to the wrist, out to the accents, moving the accents out to say a hi-hat or a crash cymbal or tom-toms. That's a lot of drumming is just moving the accents out to something other than the snare drum. So, you know, mess around with moving those accents, and a lot of cool drumming is just learning how to control these little, what we call rudiments, building blocks, just little tiny things, just working them out. Just learning how to double and play singles, doubles and singles. I mean, every once in a while you get a triple, but not very often. It's definitely requires a lot more out of your hands. You can get a double stroke really cool. I would love to get better triples. I guess I need to spend some more time messing around. If you have fun with them, then you'll get more out of them. You find a way to make drills that keep it fun. So God bless you. I hope you can share with each other your ideas down there on the comments. And there'll be some links to pages that you can check out more information. And you can always share your blessings with others. There's always a button there for donations and that kind of thing. And so God bless you. I hope you do a lot of teaching of one another. That's what this website's about. It's not just a one-man show wearing all the hats. I love my red hat. So make drumming great again. We need to make a lot of things great again. Definitely. You know, it's not a one-man show. It's going to take a lot of people making things better again. And that's what we're trying to do on this website. God bless. Bye-bye.